Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It is Monday morning, January 11th, 2021. Welcome to a new week. Can't wait to be involved in the market this week. There's going to be plenty to do. There's a lot going on. The big thing to remember though this week, and especially right now, is that we had a lot of stocks that produced some amazing gains last week. And it looks like we're going to be pausing a little bit today, which is just a natural function of the market. One of the biggest challenges that newer traders have, especially newer traders coming into the boot camp, is they know that they want to be buying stocks. They know that they want to be finding the best opportunities and putting on some trades, but not necessarily knowing what a profitable trade looks like, just only that they want it to move in their favor. When you start to be a little bit more advanced of a trader, you start to set profit targets. And you see stuff like this on CNBC all the time where somebody would say, I'd like it at that level, or at this level, I'd be looking to book profits, those kind of things. So when you advance further along in your trading career, in your trading skill development, you get to the point where you have the guts, you have the skills to get in there and say, when it gets up there, that's where I think I'm going to start to look to put in a trailing stop loss and work that order as it keeps moving higher because it's reached a certain level. We see a lot of that in many stocks last week. Actually, one of the most interesting stocks right now is Roku, is actually holding the bid, staying strong as of now, very early. But quite a few other stocks that were strong last week that traded into what we might call a bearish U-turn on Friday. Probably going to have a couple of days of pulling back, which again, not that big of a deal. It's normal market price action. We are going to start off today talking about Twitter, though. Twitter is obviously in the news in a big way. A lot of the big tech companies are in the news in a big way. And we're going to just keep this just about the trade, right? And Twitter's taking a hit today. So we're going to take a look and see where Twitter was in multiple time frames. As of right now, it's down almost 7% pre-market. It's got attention. The market has attention on it right now. We're going to see if there's a tradable opportunity and what that opportunity looks like. And we have a couple of other ones. Obviously, Bitcoin is in the news a little bit now. Not going to talk about Bitcoin from a trading perspective, but Bitcoin from the hit that it took over the weekend, and then which stocks that we've been watching as Bitcoin has been traveling higher, rocketing higher, really, I should say, how those stocks were affected and what will be the next level that we'll be taking a look in those stocks as well. So if you like this video, do me a favor, I'd really appreciate it. Click down and subscribe to the channel. If you find the video helpful, give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about the specific stocks that we have on the screen today, just let me know. Leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So we're going to take a look at starting out with Twitter. And obviously you can see here it's down almost 7%. And it was actually having selling pressure prior to the bans and all the stuff that happened over the weekend. But what's interesting is if we go out a little bit further, Twitter was actually having a pretty solid 2020 into 2021. We cleared some pretty big levels, which are these $51 levels. Then we were looking at making a run at 72. So here's the trade in Twitter for me right now. Obviously, we're trading down. We don't want to be buying something that has attention, and in this case here, negative attention where it's being hit. We need to know lines in the sand. We need to have our levels that we're reading on the tape. So for me personally right now, again, using the levels that we were very excited that we punched through, we're going to now set an alert at $50 for Twitter. That's not a buy stop. We want to know when it gets up to that price. How does order flow look at that price? How does the tape look at that price? Then we'll consider if it does get back up to there. We're not going to bottom fish. We're not going to get involved on the way down. We're going to let it do what it's going to do, let the dust settle. If and when it reverses and gets back up to that level that matters to us, then we are going to jump back in. Hopping over to crypto, you can see that crypto took a hit over the last couple of days. And the story on crypto is you can actually see $170 billion wiped off in the last 24 hours. It was down over 12% at one point. So that being said, RIOT, and which actually exploded last week and made it into our list, is down almost 10% right now. Let me actually pull this up on daily charts so you can see the size of the move. Obviously a little bit stronger there, right? So as we've been talking about, you should look for certain types of price action: a push and a pause, 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 and a push. So this pullback, while it is directly related to crypto's selling, it's going to give us an opportunity to look to buy on this pullback. Same thing with MARA, down 11 and change. So again, not a big deal. The stock more than doubled, almost tripled last week. So again, getting back to reality, these are going to set up some really good buying opportunities once we get a bullish U-turn and look for a spot to enter. What we cannot forget is NEO Day was Saturday, and NEO's trading up higher despite the market trading lower right now. It's up at 63 and change of 7%. So the question now, and the big question that we got from a lot of people last week is, do you sell the news? Do you sell the news after NEO Day? I actually went on record last week and saying one of two things are going to happen. We're going to see 75 in the 70s before the end of the month, and it looks like there's a good chance we're going to hit that actually this week. But the question is it too late to get involved? Well, too late really depends on your time frame. Is it an investment for you that you plan on holding for a year and longer? Or is it something that you're swing trading and looking to generate monthly cash flow like I do? Getting up now at 63, it's almost $20 higher than where it was right over here, which is the most recent bullish run. But this actually was the breakout at 54. So it's not really that far extended. So if you're looking to invest in the stock, obviously the situation for the long term has very bullish ramifications. Electric vehicles are here to stay. Had a big conversation with somebody about this at dinner last night, and we're going to get into another stock that's actually two more stocks they're actually getting into the EV market. So anyway, the play right now is if you are not long already, I would be initiating new trades with lower share size because it's a little bit late in the move, because it's after a bullish gap. If you are long already, I would be moving up a trailing stop if it's a swing trade. So two different ways to get involved in that trade. Obviously, the longer term picture, we are off the charts already, right? Literally, we're at new all-time highs here, which is pretty cool, right? But anyway, the other stock that we're talking about as far as getting involved, now BIDU is confirming it's joining the electric vehicle fray in China in a new partnership. So obviously now we're going to take a look at BIDU and see what the story is there. Now, this is a little different. Now it's actually up 5% as well, but now it's from basically $205 to $253. So is it wise to be getting involved as a swing trade after the stock has moved almost $50? No. Can you day trade this stock or maybe trade it over the next day or two to create some cash flow, assuming the stock follows through and meets certain criteria? Absolutely. So we got to let the story play out. It's a new story. It just hit the wires, right? Just in the last day or so over the weekend. But it's interesting. And again, one of the biggest things that we talk about is the difference between this and this. If the market does not have attention on your stock, it's going to be challenging to make money. When the market does have attention, it's relatively easy to want to be involved in those stocks. Sticking along with those same lines, DDD obviously is going to pause a little bit, not going to have that 100% gain that we discussed last week. However, it was amazing to trade again as a day trade last week, and we followed up, as we talked about, really good, clean follow through. One trade made the entire week for some people in the boot camp last week as a day trader. If you're in the right stocks, and you can actually see we actually had 4 different entries prior to launch that were profitable, and they're all on the screen right now. So anyway, DDD, we're still looking for it to consolidate a little bit before the next move. Obviously, it's not realistic to be expecting another 100% move. It went up pretty good on Friday. It looked like it's up again today. I would prefer for the stock to settle in, maybe even go sideways for about a week or so before I look to initiate my next position. Let's see. We want to focus on some stocks that are probably going to pause a little bit, looking for another run. TripAdvisor seems to be running in $10 increments. So that the close on 35, we're looking for it to pull back just a little bit after it exploded. And then we're looking for it to make another run into the 42.50 area. So we're looking for it to pull back into the 33 area over the next day or two before we look for another run. FUTU is another one. Again, look at this move into new all-time highs, looking for this to pause a little bit. If we go down to the daily charts, again, the biggest challenge you're going to have here today is if you're not already long, the challenge is to be smart and be patient, wait for better entries, wait for there to be more meat on the bone, wait for there to be room to go, and especially wait for a trade that makes sense from a risk reward perspective. But it's important to have the list. It's important to have that watch list. We actually created a video for you this morning about creating a watch list. Next, we have Workhorse. Workhorse is one that we're going to be setting an alert. Obviously, it had news last week. We called out the swing trade. Hopefully, you participated in the swing trade. We also called out the target. We said this $28, $29 level is a level that it has not been able to get through. So as the stock rallies, it got smacked 4 different times in 2020 at that level and has not been able to get through there. So what do we have now? Set an alert at 29. It's not a buy stop. It's not get in at 29, and alert at 29. You want to be alerted when it gets up to that price. Then we pay attention to see if the market has attention, see if it goes well bid, see if it closes strong, and then we look for the next trade through 29. One of the better trades from a risk potential today, with also with well bid and what we call momentum. SOL in this sector has been pretty strong. We had what we might call the optimal entry on today, Monday, caused by Friday's price action. So we're looking for a new move higher in SOL. The lower opening doesn't bother me. And finally, we're going to finish up with PayPal. Again, setting an alert. It's going to open lower today, but I have an alert set for 244, looking to initiate a new swing trade long in PayPal as well over that level. So we're going to have a little bit of a pullback today. You have to be smart, because what happens is when we explode and have these massive percentage moves, and congratulations, by the way, to everybody in the boot camp. It was a really good swing trading week. We had some really good day trades, like I showed you. We talked about all the excellent trades that we made in DDD last week, and a few other ones. However, some of the swing trades that we had this week, last week, were just really good to see the follow through. Because remember, those big trades, they pay for all those pesky losses, and it's not the losses that should be bothering you. It should be the fact that you're not making more on your winners. And if you want some help with that, click down and learn about the boot camp. I'd love to see you on the other side. If you have any questions about these stocks that we just discussed, let me know. Leave a comment below in the video. Have a great day, everybody. Hope you have a profitable one.